I, Jim Taylor, being the acting returning officer at the election of a Member of Parliament for the Salford and Eccles parliamentary constituency, held on the 8th of June 2017, give notice that the number of votes recorded for each candidate is as follows. Christopher Barnes, UK Independence Party, 2,320. Rebecca Long Bailey, Labour Party, 31,168. Wendy Olson, Green Party, 809. John Campbell-Reid, Liberal Democrats, 1,286. Jason Sugarman, the Conservative Party candidate, 12,036. The number of ballot papers rejected was as follows. 1 to the official mark, 0. Voting for more than one candidate, 32. Writing or mark by which the voter could be identified, 1. Unmarked or wholly void for uncertainty, 76. The total number of ballot papers rejected was 109. The total number of votes cast was 47,730, which represents 61% of the electorate. The majority of 19,132. I hereby declare that Rebecca Long Bailey is elected as Member of Parliament for the Salford and Eccles parliamentary constituency.
Thanks. Now, I'm truly honoured and humbled to get another opportunity to represent the people of Salford and Eccles as their voice in Westminster. And I want to give special thanks tonight to the returning officer, the staff at the count tonight, the staff in the polling stations, the police and the security staff that we've got at the venue, and the candidates who've run a very, very hard and a good campaign throughout the last 6 weeks. Importantly, I want to thank John Ferguson, my agent and friend. He's been a rock and an inspiration to me, not just throughout this campaign, but for years beforehand. I'd also like to thank Stuart Dickman, who's out there tonight, for doing such a fantastic job of coordinating this campaign, along with Alex Halligan and Alex Ehrlich as well. And I'd also like to thank our Labour Party members, many of whom are here tonight, because they've worked tirelessly over the last 6 weeks through rain and shine, practically 24 hours a day to get the result that we've got tonight. They've knocked on pretty much every door that they can possibly lay their hands on in the constituency, and they've stuffed envelopes to within an inch of their life in the campaign office. And they've been an inspiration to me. They've kept me going in the dark times, and they've celebrated with me in the good times. But most of all, I want to thank the people of Salford and Eccles for having this opportunity once again. Because there's no place on earth like Salford. We've got warm hearts, a rich history, and a fire in our bellies for a better world that no one's ever going to put out. And over the last 2 years, I've really enjoyed representing the people of Salford and Eccles, but some of the things that I've seen, quite frankly, have been soul-destroying. I've seen our public services be tore apart, industry starved of investment and support for the most vulnerable cut. I see people in my constituency office on an almost weekly basis who aren't able to get a home to live in. And some of those who have got a home are living in conditions that would rival Rackman, the slum landlord from the 1970s, if anybody can remember him. We've got people who are walking miles every day on 0-hour contracts, getting to their place of work only to be told there's no work today and they can't even afford the bus fare home. And we've got people in work who are having to rely on food banks because they don't earn enough money to make ends meet. And then we've got those struggling to find work, who are being sanctioned for the most unjust reasons and having their benefits cut to the extent that they can't survive. They're pushed over the edge into destitution. But the people of Salford and Eccles have done everything over the last 2 years that's been asked of them. And it wasn't the people of Salford and Eccles who crashed the economy in 2007-2008. It was greed that crashed our economy. And it wasn't the people of Salford who allowed multinational corporations and the financially elite to hide their money in the Cayman Islands while starving those businesses here in Salford who were doing the right thing. And it wasn't the people of Salford who allowed people like Philip Green to asset strip great British companies, leaving workers jobless and destitute. And do you know what? It wasn't the people of Salford who slashed taxes for the most wealthy whilst cutting support for the most vulnerable. Now, this is the 6th richest economy in the world, and it's about time the people of Salford and Eccles shared in that wealth. It's about time they were part of a new economy where Britain becomes a world leader in industry, and where that industry and the prosperity it generates reaches out to every region and every part in this city. And it's about time that Salford was part of a Britain for the many, not the few. Now, I said at the start that we're a city with a fire in its belly, a city who stands on the shoulders of giants, those who fought in Bexley Square, those brave men and women who fought for a better world that came after them, that put their livelihoods at risk, their incomes, just to stand up for what they believed in, and the people of Salford who now fight just to make ends meet. Now, I believe that the people of Salford and Eccles deserve a Britain for the many, not the few. And I stand on the shoulders of those giants, and I intend to fight for them until we get a Britain for the many. Thank you.